Egyptian student Patrick Zaki will be released from prison, although not acquitted of the charges against him. His lawyer reported this at the end of the hearing held in Mansoura on Tuesday. The date of the release of the young man enrolled at the University of Bologna is still unknown for the moment. Representatives of the Italian embassy participated as observers in the hearing. Zaki, who thanked Italy for what it's doing in his favor, has been in prison since February 7 and is accused of subversive propaganda and spreading false information. The 30-year-old was recently transferred from Tora prison in the capital, where he spent his time in custody, to a prison in Mansoura. Amnesty International commented on the news with a huge sigh of relief, hoping that this will be the first steps towards an acquittal. Zaki, a Coptic doctoral researcher at the Central Northern Italian University, was arrested on February 7, 2020, while returning to Egypt for a holiday.
Senegalese President Macky Sall and South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa on Tuesday denounced the unfair representation of Africa in the UN Security Council, regretting that no African country is a permanent member. The Senegalese head of state said he was in favor of discussions with non-African countries with a view to reforms so that Africa obtains at least 2 seats as permanent members, with all the prerogatives of current permanent members. What is certain is that it is unfair that the African continent, with 54 countries, is not represented as a permanent member of the Security Council. With South Africa, with all the other countries, we will continue to fight to stop this injustice to Africa.
We want fairness. We want Africa to be well represented and to be heard, because it cannot be fair that 1.3 billion people's views and thoughts cannot be heard at that high level in the same way that the views of the countries which have a veto right are heard.
The South African leader arrived on Monday in the Senegalese capital, where he participated in a forum for peace and security in Africa. At least 38 prisoners are feared dead and 69 seriously hurt after a fire broke out in the main prison of Burundi's capital, Gitega, on Tuesday. The country's vice president confirmed the incident. Many prisoners were still sleeping at the time of the incident at 4:00 a.m. The Interior Ministry said on Twitter that the disaster was caused by an electrical short circuit. A police source said the emergency services were laid to the scene, with the first fire truck arriving 2 hours after the start of the blaze. President of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum, on Monday urged his country's allies to step up the fight against arms trafficking from Libya, which he said is fueling the Sahel's jihadist insurgency. Bazoum made this call at the opening of a major security forum in Senegal. The partners' biggest failure has been their weak involvement in the fight against arms smuggling from Libya, which is the most important factor in the prevalence of this terrorism. They also need, and this is important, better tailored help from their partners based on intelligence, air support, and strengthening the capacities of their armed forces. The region's former colonial power, France, is leading Europeans' effort to fight the jihadists, while the United Nations has a large peacekeeping force in Mali.
Si la France et ses partenaires s'opposent à Wagner,
if France and its partners are opposed to Wagner, it is because they have seen in the Central African Republic their destabilizing potential, the exploitation against the population, the loss of state sovereignty, the predation of resources, the failure on the operational level, the particular and economic interests that are placed above that of the population, and that is not compatible with our vision.
Et cela n'est pas compatible avec notre vision.
At least 12 soldiers and dozens of terrorists were killed in a battle in western Niger on Saturday, the country's defense ministry announced on Sunday, adding the bloodshed has displaced thousands of civilians.
22 people, including 2 Frenchmen, went on trial in Madagascar on Monday. They are accused of a plot to stage a coup and assassinate President Andry Rajoelina. The defendants face charges ranging from criminal association to compromising state security. Their charges also include planning to kill the head of state. The alleged operation has been called the Apollo 21 plot, although only 20 of an initial 21 suspects were retained for trial. Journalists were not allowed to attend the public hearing, although cameras have been banned. Defense lawyers say the hearings should last 3 or 4 days. The 2 Frenchmen are 58-year-old Paul Rafano-Harana, a dual French-Malagasy national who is the former advisor to the president, and Philippe Francois, a 54-year-old ex-colonel in the French army. The 2 men's wives are also among the defendants.